It is time for another adventure. What's up? Welcome to my how the Mandalorian and Grogu connects to Rogue One video. So yeah, today I'll be doing another theory video for the Mandalorian and Grogu this time. Last time it was for Starfighter, and it was talking about how Ryan Gosling's character could be playing an N1 Starfighter pilot, and also how Naboo could be in Starfighter, which I'm still very excited for Starfighter. I still have more theory videos coming out before May 28th, 2027. But this is my first theory video for the Mandalorian and Grogu, and today I'll be talking about how it connects to Rogue One. So I think we'll see Colonel Ward being at the Battle of Scarif. Yeah, because in a interview from Star Wars Celebration, Sigourney Weaver mentioned Jyn Erso, and of course Jyn Erso was from Rogue. It was in Rogue One, so yeah. I think the Mandalorian and Grogu will open with the Battle of Scarif, and then I think we'll also see Zeb, Rex, Hera, and Chopper being at the Battle of Scarif. Yeah, I think it'll open with like Colonel Ward, Sigourney Weaver's character, and Zeb. And then I think it'll be, we saw Tamara Morrison play Rex in the flashback in Ahsoka episode 5, but I think we'll see him in the Mandalorian and Grogu, like as Rex, like with the helmet off. And like yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. And like, I think we'll see Hera again, which would be pretty cool. Like pretty cool cameos to start off the movie. Rex, Hera, and Chopper, and it'll be a cool way to start off Zeb's story, and like people that just watch the movies, they'll be like, oh, so he was there during Rogue One. That's cool, and they'll like kind of know who he is already by the time Mando meets him. And then maybe it'll also be a cool marketing tactic for people to go to Disney Plus and watch Rebels and watch like the Mandalorian TV show, of course, but also like to watch the Clone Wars movie since Rod is in that, and he's going to be in this, and also like Ahsoka eventually, yeah, and also the Clone Wars series. And then I think we get an explanation to how Colonel Ward and the Ghost made it out of the Battle of Scarif, and maybe that's how Colonel Ward meets Zeb, and then the reason he's helping Mando and Colonel Ward in, like Mando, Grogu, and Colonel Ward in the main events of the movie, is because Colonel Ward trusts him because from when they met at the Battle of Scarif. And so like they've just continued that throughout the events of the original trilogy and into the New Republic, and that's why Zeb is in the movie. Like, I think that could be some pretty cool explanation, yeah. And then it could spark a pretty cool dynamic between Zeb and Colonel Ward. Yeah, and also it'd be pretty cool to see the Ghost again, yeah. And like, just like revisiting Rogue One, like it'd be a cool way for the Mandalorian and Grogu it would help the Mandalorian and Grogu it's probably going to be easier for it to make $1 billion, but it would help it to get to $2 billion. Yeah, the reason I think it's going to be easy for it to make $1 billion is because like Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver and like how popular they are. Yeah, but like revisiting a popular movie like Rogue One, because like Rogue One made $1 billion, and the reason it made $1 billion was because the story was just so good, and it had so like well-written characters, but also the nostalgia, of course, with like Vader and Tarkin and Leia and like Yavin 4 and like the Death Star and Mustafar. But another reason it made $1 billion is because like it explained explained the plot holes of A New Hope. Like the reason the Death Star had its like reactor thing, the reason it had the hole in it, like to the main reactor, because of Galen Erso. Yeah, and I feel like the Mandalorian and Grogu could do that again, and like it would like capitalize on the popularity of Rogue One, and also capitalize on the popularity of Andor. Maybe it'll help Andor to like people to go back and like to watch Andor and maybe rewatch Rogue One. Yeah. And it would remind people that have already seen it of like the popularity of Andor and Rogue One. And the reason like Andor was so popular was because it told, like, one, the story was so great, like Tony Gilroy's story, but also like the story Tony Gilroy told, but also of how it told the story of Cassian, the progression of him leading up to Rogue One. So like that's like, if the Mandalorian and Grogu handles it in the right way, if like Jon Favreau has crafted it in the right way, then I think the Mandalorian and Grogu could be one of the best Star Wars movies ever. I think it could be as good as Rogue One, as good as the original trilogy, and as good as the prequel trilogy. Maybe even as good as the sequel trilogy. Yeah. And also, of course, it'll help to set up like Thrawn and then eventually the First Order. But yeah, I'm just very excited for the Mandalorian and Grogu. If I had to rank my hype for the Mandalorian and Grogu as of now, I'd say a 10. Just like I am for Starfighter. I'm excited for both of them for separate reasons. Starfighter because it's going to tell its own fresh story, but the Mandalorian and Grogu because like we're going to be seeing Mando and Grogu back and like the story that it's promising with like Sigourney Weaver's Colonel Ward and Zeb coming back, like, and like Rada the Hutt, seeing like him after Jabba's death, like it's going to be crazy. Like the Imperial Remnant, yeah, like it's the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be such a great movie. And we're like 7 months away from it, a little less than 7 months. So I'm just so excited for it. But yeah, right now I'll do my closing and say bye. Make sure to like, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. And till next time, guys, bye.